Marcus, thank you for the interview. And are you looking forward to your revisit to Rototom 2022?
Oh yeah, of course. We've been waiting for this one for a long time. So always happy to be here.
And how is the tour going for you so far?
It's been really nice. As you know, like we haven't played any gigs in like a little more than 2 years, and we didn't know when it was gonna happen again. So we're really happy to be back on stage and to share live music with the people.
Well done. So for people that don't know you or know of your background, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm Marcus, and I come from the small island of New Caledonia in the South Pacific. And it's a very little known place in the world. Most people don't know about it. So I started coming over to Europe about 5 years ago to share my music with the people. And so far so good, man. It's been a great journey.
Long may it continue. And how did you start in music?
Well, you know, New Caledonia is it's a tropical island, so I guess like any tropical island, it's got a strong reggae influence, you know, like from when I was a youth, there was a lot of reggae concerts in New Caledonia, and overall it's a place where you can hear reggae anywhere. Like people are usually surprised when they get there because we're so far from the Caribbean, but you'll hear reggae everywhere in the stores and public transports, like it's on the radio, it's on TV. So really, like I was brought up around a lot of reggae music, and like becoming a musician in my teens, like little by little, of course, I got to reggae.
And are you happy with the progress of your musical career to date?
Well, you know, like coming from such a small place in the world, which is pretty much cut off from the rest of the world, for me, I never expected that the music would go so far and that it would be received in so many different places. So yeah, it's always a blessing, like to be able to travel with this music and to open so many horizons and boundaries with it. Like for me, it's all a blessing, really. Like I give thanks every day.
Very good. And were you happy with the reception to your album Brave New World?
Yeah, actually, like for us, putting out that album was something different because people know us in a really roots reggae, meditative genre, I'd say. And with Tamal, you know, he's my friend and sound engineer, and like he comes from a more, let's say, electronic music background. So we've always together like had these musical explorations, like going into different genres, but it was something that we would do only in the studio and in private. And eventually, like we felt like, okay, like we want to share that, even if it's really different sound-wise. But I think that as the people have noticed, the message is really, you know, like the link between all these different types of music. And even if the style and the sound is different, the message is really like, you know, the core of the music. So that's the common link, I'd say.
Okay, and I was going to ask you about Tamal, but thank you for that. Are you a full-time musician?
Yeah, of course. Like that's what I do. I mean, I do a lot of other things on the side because I have a lot of different interests in life. But this is how I live. Yeah.
You don't want to tell us what those interests might be?
Well, as we speak a lot of in the songs, I love gardening and growing my own food. So it's become tricky with the tour life and being so far away from home. But of course, I also share interests in any spiritual matters, you know, like I read a lot and I have many different, like it will vary with time, you know. I have a tendency to like go deep in subjects, so you will meet me at one point, I'll be like really passionate about Indian Advaita Vedanta, and you will meet me 6 months later and I'll be passionate about alchemy and so many different things. And we know so little, so.
Too true. And your main musical influences?
Well, of course, Bob Marley was a huge influence. And as I think a lot of people who listen to my music, they can tell the big influence that we've had from the Virgin Islands and Midnight in particular, which has been a huge inspiration to us, really.
And would you describe your music as conscious music?
Well, it wants to be conscious. It's got the intention of being conscious, and I pray that it may be.
Future plans?
Well, more music, like this. As I was saying, like this has been a blessed journey, and there's so many more places that we want to go. Like for me, reaching Europe was already something big, coming from so far, and in the future I'd love to travel in South and North America. I'd love to play in Africa, many other places. Like I love traveling and I love music, so I guess touring is as good as it gets for me.
And happiest musical moment to date?
Oh, well, this is a hard question to answer because, like a lot of times, people ask us like, what was your favorite concert? And for me, it's a really difficult question to answer because every day is different, every show is different, and they all have, like a specific vibration according to the moment and the people. So there would be too many to say, really. And music brings so much happiness. It's hard, and it would be sad if there was only one happiest time. I feel.
So to flip the coin, the most disappointing musical moment?
Oh, well, this is easy to speak of. For me, the most disappointing moment was when our 2020 tour was cancelled. My album Rhythm of Serenity, it came out on Friday the 13th of March, I recall it was 2020, and we were rehearsing to kick off the tour like a week later, and of course this tour never happened and we had to wait for 2022. So yeah, that was a disappointing moment, but we give thanks still.
Good man. Best thing about being a musician?
Well, as I always say, like music, I would do it even if we weren't paid for it. So that's the great thing about music, is being able to make a living from something so noble. And for us, it really is a passion. It's a calling. So once again, what a blessing.
And the hardest thing about being a musician?
The hardest thing about being a musician? Well, it's not an easy life like people can think it is. Like, people, they'll see the spotlight and the stage, but there is so much more to it, and you have to work a lot, and society doesn't necessarily recognize you for what you do for it, and you need to spend a lot of time in transportation. There is it's not an easy life. Like you get paid when you're on the stage, but then the whole rest of the year, well, you need to carry yourself, take care of yourself and your loved ones. So, but overall, like I would say there is a lot of dignity in that path. At least that's what I find. So I wouldn't do anything else except plant food, really.
Okay. So the big picture, your happiest life event?
My happiest life event? Oh man, right out of the bag like that, I would say the first time I traveled alone with my backpack. I think that was it was 2009 or 10, must have been 20 at the time, and I went to India, and I had this feeling of freedom that I never sensed before. That's a good memory.
Well done. And we're nearly there. Most disappointing life event.
Oh,
Share it.
school. School. Doing higher studies. Like after finishing high school, I went to movie school. I really wanted to become a movie director and shoot things, and I was really disappointed with the educative system, and I felt like it was a money-making machine, and I didn't enjoy it that much.
And lastly, ambitions. You're still a young man.
Well, ambition, this is gonna be cliche, but to be healthy and live a happy life, man, that's my biggest ambition, really. And if I can have a little comfortable place in nature, that would be my greatest wish.
I hope it's realized. Thank you for your time.
Give thanks.